What's up guys, it's James First, and welcome to a new type of video series I want to do on the channel. I'm not going to be stopping Let's Play or anything like that, I just want to branch out, try new things and all that. So this is a series that I've thought of for a while now, I've actually been inspired by other content creators to try this out. And if this is well, I'll do more of them. 5 games that should come to the Switch and the Switch successor, which is hopefully coming out next year. Though I'm a patient guy, I don't mind waiting. So let's get into these. Some of these titles aren't going to be titles that you hear all the time, and some of them are not so popular, but some of them are pretty well known. So let's just stop dilly dallying and get right into it. First up is a game that I'm pretty sure 11 of you guys only know, and that is Lost Dimension. Because get it, there's only 11 playable characters in the game. Eh, eh. But basically, they have to save the Earth. You know how the drill. They have these super cool powers and they have to climb this tower to defeat the bad guy. But each section of the tower, you have to vote someone out. Basically, if XCOM and Danganronpa had a love child. So what's interesting about this game is that through each battle, you'll be able to talk with your allies and all that, try to see who's the traitor and all that. And there are 5 total traitors in the game, but each run is randomized. So on one run, you could have Jack, which is the person who was the first traitor for me, and in another run you could have this pyrokinetic girl. I forgot her name. You can tell how much I love the game, but I do love it. I got it back in 2014, which 10 years ago. I think it really needs new life, even though it now costs so much just to find a copy. But this game was only released on Windows, PS Vita, and PS3 back in 2014 in Japan, and everywhere in 2015. So yeah, almost 10 years. So I think this game could use a new breath of fresh air. I've been seeing a lot of old PS3 games coming to the Switch, and yeah, it could help it a lot. It was published by Furyu in Japan, Atlas in the US, and NIS America or NIS in Europe. Next up is a game I started back during Hurricane Milton, and that is over Oasis. Now, this game is stuck on the 3DS, and hopefully, when more 3DS games come into the Switch, this could probably make its way since I'd rather play on a big screen, honestly. But this is cool. I didn't realize how cool this game was until I actually played it. It basically makes me miss what I miss about modern Zelda, where dungeons and all that. The only thing is that a lot of the characters you have to like go back and get certain characters with certain skills, so maybe they could fix that. This was released on June 2017, and it's made by Grezzo, so the ones that have been doing Link's Awakening, Echoes of Wisdom. I hope they could bring this game back since it deserves love. It came out at a rough time when the Switch was gaining its popularity and all that. I'm kind of cheating here with one series with 2 games, but Dead Rising 1 and 2 I think should come to the Switch and the Switch successor. I could understand 3 and 4 at the moment. The 1 and 2 should already be on there. Capcom has been putting in all the Resident Evil games. Granted, they do better, but Dead Rising, it needs its love. And I think putting it on Switch could help it. Dead Rising Run has been on pretty much everything, including the Wii. So, yeah, I believe it was called like Chop Till You Drop Edition or something like that. Even I was surprised that came on the Wii, but Dead Rising 1, I think, should come out on the Switch or the successor. It was released back in 2006. Who knows? Maybe even you could put the remake on it when the successor comes out. And for Dead Rising 2, it's a bit tricky since Dead Rising 2 has 2 separate games, the base with Chuck and off the record with Frank, so I don't know how they're going to do that. Plus, it has 2 DLC stories, a prequel and an epilogue, so I don't know, maybe you could do Dead Rising 2 Complete Edition or something like that, because Dead Rising 2 is the fan favorite in my opinion. Even though I really love 3, but I put so much time into Dead Rising 2, so I hope those 2 could come at some point. It's a really weird how at least these 2 hasn't came out. And finally, one of my favorite games. It's not my favorite game of all time, but Zanki Zero Lost Dimension. This game is weird. It's really weird. The gameplay is basically a first person dungeon crawler, though you have enemies in real time, so you have to plan out where you want to move, where you want to attack. Plus, it's a visual novel based story with you have to take care of your characters, so there's a lot to manage, but it's really good, really good. The story's so out there, so different from what you normally expect. There's going to be a lot of touchy subjects, which some people may not be a fan of, but oh lord, it's basically like One Piece. How it's it looks really silly and all that, but it gets dark. It gets dark. Not as dark as One Piece, but I'm not going to be talking about One Piece. I'm talking about Zanki Zero since I really love this game. This game was released back in 2018 on the PS Vita, Windows, and PS4, and it was developed by Spike Chunsoft, which I'm surprised since Danganronpa, all the Danganronpas are on there, and a bunch of other Spike Chunsoft games. I'm surprised this one hasn't come to the Switch since it would do really well on it, or at least a successor, at least. Uh, the only thing is that there may be some people who be like, I don't know how I feel about this regarding some of the characters, but in the story, they're all adults, so shouldn't be that big of an issue. And plus, when each character dies, they get transformed back into a kid, but they only have like a 13 to 15-day life cycle, so they rapidly go from child to young adult to middle age into old person. And each of those stages have different stats, so yeah, playing things out carefully, it's really fun, I promise you. So try it out, and yeah, that's about it. These are 5 games that I hope come to the Switch and to the Switch successor since I love collecting for the Switch, and I definitely will love collecting for the Switch successor. So yeah, that's gonna be it. This as well, I'll do more, maybe between each project and all that, or if I find the time. But anyway, I'll see you guys then.